Ну, я думаю, с интересом сейчас выслушаем доклад депутата парламента Ирака и главы группы представителей христиан Ирака, господина Юнадама Юсефа КАННА. Пожалуйста, вам слово.
حقيقة أنا مع تأييدي الكامل لما تفضل به سعادة السفير إسماعيل دكتور إسماعيل سفير العراقي. لكن لا تجري الأمور هكذا فقط بعوامل داخلية، وإنما هناك استثمار واستغلال من الخارج من خلف الحدود هذه الصراعات وهذه المشاكل الداخلية.
Конечно, не все так гладко внутри фронте. Конечно, извне многие используют недопонимание, нестабильную ситуацию внутри.
May I talk in English? Everybody understand? Because you will save language time.
Yes, it will save some time.
Thank you. So I will make you remember the Sinto. Sinto was 1957 in Baghdad, Turkey, Iraq, Iran, and Pakistan, confronting the Soviet Union at the time. So after 1958, when Iraq was out of the Sinto, after Republic in Iraq, and then 79, Iran was out of that. You remember how Saddam Hussein was supported by all the international committee to fight Iran, and then Mujahideen in Afghanistan to fight Russians and Soviet Union. Okay. So it was not by chance, it was also not internal factors, but outsiders also in this international conflict, or let's say regional, not regional only, but global conflict, so-called Cold War at that time. Before Crimea, for 2 weeks, I addressed a speech to President Obama. I said, you say that there is no more Cold War, it's only one Cold War. I said, no, there is Cold War. We hope that you have a very influential role to diffuse this Cold War before it becomes hot war, and fairly and peacefully. It seems we couldn't see that. So today, when so-called Arab Spring started, the media asked me, what is your opinion about Arab Spring? I said, Arab autumn started with Saddam Hussein invasion to Kuwait. Today we are entering the very severe winter, very bad, because free will of people is confiscated, and others are trying to decide what to do inside in this country. So Daesh is a kind of tool, like a robot, but the remote control is off now. Same like Bin Laden was Mujahideen at the beginning, but later he became terrorist. He became terror, threatening all the world. So today Daesh was to the moderate Islamists to change the regime in Syria, and but at last the Islamist extremism that has no Richter gauge or some other gauge to see how much he is extremist. He is little or more. He is only moderate Islamist, or he is very jihadist to fight and to kill and to behead. So this was the reason that I can say 90% of those terrorists came through Istanbul airport or through Gaziantep airport. So it was to change the regime there. It was a conflict. Globally, we say West maybe or America are not that happy of the Russian existence in Syria or Russian bases in Syria or as a market or as an influence or this and that. Because Suez, because Istanbul, because of Gibraltar and these things. So it is a kind of a complicated regional, global, and local. Regional and global is investing in our internal, I can say, conflict or internal problems. So in Iraq, we have three kinds of conflict, or let's say struggle. One is normal, like Abel and Cain, in everywhere, in all over the world, in America or Europe or here in Russia. Everybody wants to promote his party or his personal personality, but this is normal. But other two, one is on sectarian basis, since Prophet Muhammad time passed away till now, which is Sunni Shi'i and very bad invested, and now it's proxy war in Iraq between Iran and Turkey from one side, and Turkey and Saudi Arabia and Qatar and others from the other side. This is one, sectarian investing in extremism inside Iraq and feeding and pushing that forward. The second one is I can say, on ethnic basis, maybe 1 century between Erbil and Baghdad, the Kurdish demands and Arab, I can say, controlling the country and the Kurdish asking for their rights. So those two conflicts are the major conflicts in Iraq. And the victims are all Iraqis first in general, but mainly the minorities, as you mentioned, Excellency, and which was almost 1,000 kilometers from Sinjar, Rabia to Mandalay. It's almost 1,000 kilometers. This problem was solved in 2003 in the TAL, Transitional Administration Law, under 558, Article 58, but unfortunately Iraq failed to solve this problem between courts of Baghdad, between Arabia and Baghdad. And then it was Article 140 in the Constitution, again failed, and everybody tried to push his own agenda. So now, if we don't solve that problem through United Nations, those minorities has no future in Iraq. Not in the Khilaf or the Turkmen, not the Yazidi in Sinjar, not the Christian community and Shabak in Nineveh Plain and Yazidi, and not Turkmen against Shia, Atba Ahl al-Bayt in Tushurmatu and Mandalay and others. So this is one of the major conflicts, very badly abused, and Daesh is on that border between the Iraqi side and KRG. So you hear every day about that news. Second one, we need reconciliation between the regional countries to contain the conflict. Saudi Arabia, Qatar, or Turkey and others, and Iraq and Iran. Those countries must have some international conference to solve this problem, not to be hostage of the history of conflict, but to look forward, to live together as neighbors, and we have our sovereignty, each of us, and to solve our internal problems among ourselves. So the Arab Spring result was 9.5 million Iraqis and Syria, 7 million Syria people, and 2.5 million Iraqis are out of their homes today. This is the Arab Spring, the product of the Arab Spring, so-called Arab Spring, and the friends, I'm sorry, with all respect, friends of Syria. You remember that, or friends of Syrian people. So now they have to take the responsibility. Yesterday, Daesh invaded Al-Khabur, Assyrian Christian villages again, and some people are kidnapped, some people are killed, and others are immigrated by force. وأخرجوا من ديارهم بغير حق. Yesterday, over 10 villages, and now still they are going forward. So our problem, I can say, it is complicated, local, which we need peace and justice among ourselves and reconciliation. We have to push for that. And then it's regional, as I said, reconciliation between those countries in that region. And then globally, they can solve the problems peacefully and fairly. Why it's okay for some country to be in everywhere, all over the world, from Tokyo to Los Angeles and San Diego, and other is forbidden for him. This is balance in the world. We are not that happy of the monopolizing everything and then al-haymana, or to be a proxy war in our countries. Nobody is happy, and we are the victims. So some points I would like to say, His Excellency mentioned, in the last Daesh attacks on Nineveh Plain and Tikrit and Salahuddin, only in Nineveh, over 160,000 Christians were out of their homes, and their homes and churches and historic monasteries all are confiscated by Daesh, occupied by Daesh. And as they said, His Excellency Naukin said that they are funding themselves by our grandfathers and people, and from Nineveh, historic Nineveh and others. And I will add also, they are also funding themselves by smuggled oil, South Mosul and otherwhere, through through the mafia, either to Turkey or to Iran and then to Afghanistan. In addition to cement factories now, 3,000 tons a day selling cement to Turkey right now. And Turkey again making sacks and then selling back again each ton $80. So a lot of things to be discussed. For us Christians, it's not only Daesh. Before Daesh, there was a culture of discrimination. We have excellent constitution now, but still it's on paper. We were before 30 years almost 1.3 million. Today I am doubtful we are 600,000. Over 50% was either immigrated or out of country. So you can imagine over 50% in 30 years from this community to flee the country. So there is a big mistake, there is a big problem, and discrimination must stop. And I don't say this is policy of my government, but practically on ground, when abusing power, and then again discrimination is on till now. So I mean, we need to be supported. We are here to call Russian friends to continue with their support. I make sure that if Russia was not supporting us in this last Daesh war by some Sukhoi, 5 Sukhoi, and I don't remember how many helicopters, there was no international community coalition to support us. But Russia support was beginning, and then everybody came, and this is, we thank them, we appreciate that, but it's not enough. Because as His Excellency Mr. Naumkin mentioned, three major factors, the power factors of Daesh: al-mafhum al-sharia, which is the Quran, and al-quwa al-askariya, the military force or the power, and then media. So we need to be held in second and third. But al-sharia, we are calling Islamic scholars and Islamic people to confront those Daesh, either in private schools, on Friday speech, on everywhere, to show the real Islam, not to allow them to destroy the image of Islam. And they are more banging on Muslims much more than others. And also I would like to say that they are in the wrong way who think that they can invest the bloodshed and they can invest the suffering of our people there for their agendas in that region. Because Daesh has no border. Today is in my country, tomorrow will be in Turkey or in Jordan, in Saudi Arabia, and everywhere. And then later on, even in Europe and America and Russia and everywhere. Some people were happy one day when we are fighting in Shishan. But today they are suffering. Why? They were thinking it's a good tool to put pressure on Russia or somewhere else. Or today, to put pressure on us to push their agendas in that region. But at result will be reflected very bad and negatively all over the globe. Not only on us, but on everybody in the world. That's why we are calling to keep on supporting us to fight Daesh. Daesh, we are in the front line fighting Daesh, but we need your support at least as military, building Iraqi military, or supporting, funding, or recruiting, or training, or arming, the Iraqi army, and media as well. So the Daesh media is much stronger than ours. And our neighboring country were not happy of the change in Iraq, not because we were Sunni or Shia, because of the new principles we adopt. Freedom, human rights, women's rights, democracy, and the diversity, we are not that happy of that. So that's why they are just pushing everybody, making violence. And Daesh today in Iraq is not 100% Daesh fighting us. Over 85% are not Daesh, but people who are not that much satisfied by the situation. We have to separate those people from Daesh. They have no beliefs or aqidah of Daesh. But they are hostage of Daesh in Mosul city, and they are crying, shouting, please save us, please liberate us. So we have to think about that also, and I'm sure Daesh will be finished as army, but the Daesh mentality is problem. The Islam religious leaders has to have this role, what to do in Jum'ah frame, or what to do in our curriculum of the schools, how to build the new values, that to accept the other, and not to be hatred and encouraging for violence. We must have some legislations in our constitution that we have to prohibit and criminalize this culture of the hatred, culture of the. We need these things, and again, thank you very much. I think I have no more time. Thank you very much. We have a lot of to speak, but these are very shortly. Yeah, thank you very much.
Question you can answer.
Спасибо.